to many of these plays. At this moment, it is my pleasant duty to extend a warm and heartfelt welcome to our respected dignitaries, esteemed guests. As a token of love, as a token of our respect and gratitude, we would like to honor Dr. Vijay Kumar Kathiremut, Kannada Advisory Board, Sahitya Academy, Ministry of Culture, Government of India. See, may I invite Sajila to present flower at the total flower and Dr. Abhinav Guru, Registrar, Central University, Kalaburgi. Then Dr. M.S. Sajana, Dr. M.S. Sajana, HOD, Department of English, present class. Okay. Professor Chiran is here. Thank you so much. Yes. Good. Thoughts and perspectives on. Okay. Let us witness. Okay, the deliverance of lecture. Okay, will be given by Dr. M.S. Sajana. Okay. His paper. He's going to present his paper on Shakespeare's tragedies and OOV. Forum is for you. Please go ahead.
kannada advisory board, Sahitya Academy, administrative officer of Basaveshwar University and honorable head of the department of Central University of Basaveshwar, sir. Other dignitaries for BACB and my dear students. My topic is Shakespeare's tragedies in old. Instead of going to the tragedies direct, let us try to understand his life. Let us know something about this. Everybody knows Shakespeare. He is world famous William Shakespeare. Shakespeare got his fame and name by writing his plays. He was born in 1564 at Stratford. His father's name is John Shakespeare. His mother's name is Mary Auden. He said that he got very less education because of his financial condition, because of his family's financial condition. So he said that he learned a small Latin and less Greek. It is said. So at the age of 19, he got married. A lady called Anne Hathaway at the age of 19. Some 8 years senior to him. But by the time age of 21, he had got 3 children. By your age, at your age, he had got 3 children. First one is Sudha, and the second Hamlet, and these are twins. Hamlet and Judith. So Shakespeare came to London. Very early he came to London because he was very much attracted by dramas and theatres. So in London, he did many art house. Shakespeare. It is said that he worked as holder of horses, and worked as an actor, and also he wrote the plays. So in London he got name and fame, also he earned some fortune, but he did not forget his native place, that is Stratford. He did not bring his family to London. He was visiting his native place, Stratford. So he earned a name and fame and got some fortune, and he purchased some assets in London as well as his native place, Stratford. But very early he died at the age of 60. He was born on April 23rd. Also he died on April 23rd. That's why recently we celebrated his birthday as an English language day. All over the world, lovers of literature, lovers of English language celebrated his birthday as an English language day. So he died at the age of 52, but during his lifetime, he wrote 38 plays, 2 long narrative poems, and 154 sonnets. Shakespeare, in his lifetime, he wrote 38 plays, long narrative poems, kannada, and sonnets, 150. Sunita Garu, kannada, Dept, Sunita, poem of poetics. Here I would like to focus on my topic, Shakespeare's tragedies. Out of 38 plays, he wrote some 10 tragedies. In Kannada we are calling them as Varudha Natakalu, Buddha Natakalu, Athwa Gambhira Natakalu. Out of 38 plays, he wrote 10 tragedies. Rest of the plays, they are either comedies or histories. So he wrote histories, comedies, and tragedies. ದುರಂತ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದರು, ಹಾಸ್ಯ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ಬರೆದರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಐತಿಹಾಸಿಕ ನಾಟಕ. But here I would like to focus on his tragedies. They are 10 in number: Hamlet, Macbeth, King Lear, Othello, Julius Caesar, Coriolanus, Timus Andronicus, and Titan of Athens, Romeo and Juliet, and Antony and Cleopatra. BACB broadly includes here. BACB broadly, his critic includes other 2 plays, Richard III and Richard II. So, but we can take that he has written 10 tragedies. 10 ದುರಂತ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಬೌದ್ಧ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಗಂಭೀರ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು. So let us try to understand what is tragedy. Tragedy means a play which adds sad ending, which adds with sadness or unhappy events. Tragedy. So there should be bloodshed, killing, treachery, conspiracy. At the end of the play, all characters die, including the protagonist. If there are such events, such elements, that kind of play is called tragedy. So according to Aristotle in his Politics, He says that tragedy is an imitation of an action that should be serious. It should evoke pity and fear, resulting in catharsis. Catharsis means purification due to amercia. Amercia means a tragic thought. So in the play, if there are these elements, that kind of play is called a tragedy. So Shakespeare wrote such 10 tragedies. Already I have mentioned he has written 10 tragedies. But he wrote romantic tragedies. Shakespeare, William Shakespeare. There are so many kinds of tragedies. Classical tragedies, romantic tragedies. But he did not write classical tragedies. What is the difference between classical tragedies and romantic tragedies? Classical tragedies means playwrights should follow classical rules. Means which are the classical rules? 3 unities and chorus. 3 unities. Which are the key 3 unities? Unity of action, unity of time, unity of place. Unity of action in the sense that a play should have only one plot, one single plot. It should not have subplots, and there should not be mixture of tragic elements and comic elements. This is called a unity of action. And what is unity of time? Action of the play should not exceed 24 hours. It is called a unity of time. And what is unity of place? Action of the play should take place in one location, single location. If there are 3 classical rules, that is called classical tragedy. Another important factor is that playwright should employ chorus. What to mean by chorus? Chorus means a group of singers or group of dancers. So playwright should observe while writing. He has to follow all these rules, all these classical rules. But Shakespeare did not follow all these classical rules. He did not follow all these classical rules. He never applies in his play chorus. He never applies, and he mixes tragic elements and comic elements. Tragic elements and comic. He never follows any rules, any standards. He wrote his plays according to his principles. So his plays are called romantic tragedies. But Greek tragedians, especially Aeschylus, Sophocles, and Euripides, they followed strictly these classical rules. Especially his contemporary Ben Jonson, he followed his classical rules. But Shakespeare did not follow any classical rules. That's why his plays are called, his tragedies are called romantic tragedies. Here I would like to focus on one his famous tragedy, that is Hamlet. First of all, I will introduce you some characters. The characters are complete. There are 2 Hamlets in this play. One is Prince Hamlet. He is Prince of, and his father's name is also Hamlet. He is already dead. He appears in the play as ghost. So there are 2 Hamlets. Father Hamlet, he is dead now. He appears in as ghost, and Prince Hamlet. And Hamlet's mother, Gertrude, and Hamlet's uncle, his name is Claudius. And another character is there. His name is Polonius. Polonius is he's called Lord Chamberlain. Means his advisor or supervisor at the palace. And his daughter Ophelia, she is loving Hamlet, Prince Hamlet. And the Polonius' son is there. His name is Claudius. And Hamlet's friend is there. His name is Horatio. Apart from these characters, there are so many characters, but these are major characters. You have to remember in order to understand this plot, because Aristotle is telling that Plot is the soul of tragedy. First of all, we have to understand the plot. What is going on here? Claudius, present king of Denmark, he kills his own brother for the sake of crown, for the sake of throne. He kills his own brother, yet he married his wife. ನನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣನನ್ನೇ ಕೊಂದು ನನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣನ ಹೆಂಡತಿಯನ್ನು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರು? ಕ್ಲಾಡಿಯಸ್. But son is there. Hamlet, Prince Hamlet is there. Actually, he should become king. He should become king, but the uncle becomes king. And also he married his brother's wife. ನನ್ನ ಅತ್ತಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಅಣ್ಣನನ್ನು ಕೊಂದು ರಾಜನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನನ್ನ ಅತ್ತಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. But son is there, very young Prince Hamlet. He is studying in the University of Wittenberg. He comes to Denmark and sees that his mother has married his uncle. Uncle has become king. So ghost appears. His father's ghost appears before Hamlet. See, I have not died natural death, but he has heard this wrong fake news. What is that? King Hamlet dies of snake bite. No, I did not die of snake bite. I have been killed by your uncle Claudius. How? He has poured poison into my ear when I was sleeping in the garden. This is how I died. Your uncle has a ear. That is what you have to do. You have to take revenge. So father appearing as a ghost, he tells his son, your uncle has killed me and he has married your mother, means my wife. What you have to do? You have to take revenge on your uncle. That is why he tests whether it is true or not. That's why he arranges play within play. And he comes to know that it is true. My uncle has killed my father. Absolutely, but it is very visible that he has married his mother. That is why Shakespeare thinks and thinks and thinks. So he delays his action. That's why you heard this famous saga like, to be or not to be. That is my question. Frailty thy name is woman. Another famous quotation by Shakespeare. So keeping in his mind mother, say, this Hamlet says that frailty thy name is woman. Because his mother has married another his own uncle. That's why he thinks and thinks that what to do, whether to die, whether to live in this world, to be or not to be. That is my question. So finally he comes to decision that I have to kill this Claudius, but by mistake he kills Polonius. By mistake, thinking that he is Claudius. But this Polonius is father of his beloved Ophelia. He kills by mistake this Polonius, and his beloved Ophelia went gone. She drowns. So already father King Hamlet is dead. Polonius dies. And Ophelia dies, and this fellow Claudius, he is afraid of Prince Hamlet. One day he is going to kill him. That's why he makes some conspiracy with Lautes. Lautes is son of Polonius. He arranges one that is called fencing. Fencing means holding swords. They have to fight. 30 version. Holding swords, they have to fight Hamlet and Lautes. So, but Lautes' sword is laced with poison. It is the conspiracy of Claudius. So, during the fight, Lautes wounds Hamlet. During fight, they will exchange swords. Will exchange. His sword comes to Hamlet. His sword goes to Lautes. So Hamlet also wounds Lautes. Both are wounded by poison sword. Also, his mother Claudius drinks poisoned cup that is prepared by Claudius for Hamlet. By mistake, she drinks poisoned cup. So, mother Gertrude dies and Claudius dies. Hamlet dies. Before dying, Hamlet stabs his uncle Claudius. He comes to know that he has made this part. All died, all characters died in this play, except his close friend Horatio. So what we feel now, according to Aristotle? So tragedy should evoke pity and fear in the mind of audience. So Ophelia died. She has not committed any crime, but Ophelia dies. And even he has not committed any crime. This Prince Hamlet. He also dies. But what is his tragic plot? Amercia. According to Aristotle, it is called amercia. Amercia means tragic plot. He delays his action. That is the fault committed by Hamlet, Prince Hamlet. So all die except Horatio is died. So this kind of play is called tragedy. He has written such 10 such tragedies. Shakespeare. All tragedies, even King Lear, there are 3 topics, they die. King Lear dies. Even Macbeth kills a temple. He is king. He kills his own friend, Banquo, and commits suicide. He is killed by Macbeth. And his wife, Lady Macbeth, she also dies. We are very well versed with Romeo and Juliet. They also die at the end of it. So these are the tragedies written by William Shakespeare. This is why he has become so famous by writing 38 plays. Out of 38 plays, he has written 10 tragedies. So this I told my speech. His father and creative writer, Basaveshwar sir, regular lecturer, extensively elaborating with regular lecturer Shakespeare. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Dr. Sachin's views on Shakespeare's plays. Now I would like to invite Dr. Basaveshwar himself, Registrar, Central University Kannada, to talk on these views on. He's going to talk something about different perspectives on Shakespeare's plays. Okay, let us invite him. Thank you. Please.
Good afternoon to you. This morning I spoke at Rajkumar in Kannada. Now I am going to speak on Shakespeare in English. How many of you are the students of the department? Can you raise your hands? So, okay, thank you. What about others? You are the okay. Do you have any difficulties in understanding English? I'm asking this question straight to the students of the department. Can you follow me? Okay, wonderful. If required, at the end of my short presentation, I can also speak Kannada for a few minutes for the conclusion of the students of the department. Okay, thank you so much, and I really appreciate your patience. You have been listening to us since morning. You only heard 5 talks in Kannada and 1 talk in English. And I must thank my dear friend Mallikarjun S. Sachin for giving a good talk on Shakespeare with especially reference to Hamlet. As a matter of fact, I also wanted to speak on Hamlet. He has already touched upon Hamlet, and I will try to introduce Shakespeare as a playwright, as a poet, as an artist to you for about 30 minutes and qualitative. That's my objective. And I must thank Mr. Vijay very much, member Kannada Advisory Board, Science Academy, and also this college for arranging a session on Shakespeare. And I also thank all my dear colleagues and students, friends. I'm glad that Rashikar is here. He's a good critic in Kannada. And Srivant is here, and Dr. Luka Port may also drop in a calendar. Okay. I'll be talking about Shakespeare. Shakespeare happens to be my all-time favorite playwright, and I have read all his 37 plays. He said 38. There is some dispute. Some critics say that he has 37, 38. Don't worry about the number. Numbers don't make you a great writer. Just because you have written 100 books, don't think that you are a very great writer. Number has nothing to do with you being a great writer. The quality of what you write, the quality of what you write is more important than the number of books that you produce at the end of the day. And we all say that Shakespeare is the greatest playwright that England has ever produced, and we all say. But we should know why do we call Shakespeare the greatest playwright of the world? What is it that has made Shakespeare to be the greatest playwright of the world? I will give you some reasons, some 10 to 15 reasons why we should be reading Shakespeare today, number one, and why we call him, or why we should describe him as the greatest playwright of the world. I do not have any hesitation. In saying that Shakespeare is the finest artist and the greatest playwright, the greatest poet that the world has ever produced. Shakespeare is no longer the property of England. Shakespeare belongs to the whole world. Shakespeare is read in all the languages across the globe. In every language you find Shakespeare. So he is universal. He is universal, and he is truly a world-class writer. He belongs to the whole world. And as students of literature, you need to understand why does a man become a universal writer? How does a man become a universal writer? You become a universal writer, or somebody becomes a universal writer only when he addresses human predicament, human emotions, human feelings. Because human life is universal. For instance, life and death. Shakespeare asks several questions in his plays, including Hamlet. Unfortunately, I visited Stratford, and I was there for 2 days. And I watched a movie in Globe Theatre, King Lear. And I visited many places where Shakespeare was born and brought up, lived and died. And I saw the places with my own eyes. I was excited. I was tremendously excited when I landed in Stratford some 8 to 9 years ago. So I try to explain to you why we call him the greatest playwright of the world and why he has become a universal playwright. I said, you find the whole universe in his plays. He asks several questions. About human beings in his plays. For instance, Hamlet. Sanjay has already talked about Hamlet. Hamlet is one of my favorite plays. And Hamlet happens to be his classic. And remember, all the 37 plays of Shakespeare are his classics. ಅವನು ಬರೆದ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಅವನ ಮೇರು ಕೃತಿಗಳು. ಅವನು ಬರೆದ 154 ಸುಗೀತಗಳು ಅವನ ಮೇರು ಕಾವ್ಯಗಳು. ಅವನು ಬರೆದ 2 ದೀರ್ಘ ಕವನಗಳು ಅವನ ಮೇರು ಕೃತಿಗಳು. So Shakespeare is the only writer in the world who has only classics to his credits, like Rajkumar. All his movies are tremendously successful. All the movies. Right? So then why did he acquire such a such a prominent place in the history of modern literature. He is not part of British literature alone. He is not part of European literature. He is part of whole world of literature. And read any line, every line of Shakespeare, you feel that yes, Shakespeare belongs to me. He is a Kannada author. You become yourself a Hamlet. And this, if you read this famous dialogue which he quoted, to be or not to be, that is the question. To be or not to be, that is the question, whether it is nobler in the minds to suffer untold miseries or take to arms and end it. He speaks this soliloquy in the third act of the play Hamlet. To be or not to be, that is the question. This is a typical Hamletian problem. It's called Hamletian problem. It's your problem, it's my problem. Every day we think about it. For instance, before you get up, you think, whether should I get up at 6 o'clock or 6:30? Isn't it? And when you try to get up at 6:30, you again ask this question, should I get up at 6:30 or 7? Should I wear this dress or that? Should I marry this girl or that? When you think of getting married, you just go to anyone that see anyone there and get married. Not like that. You'll see many, you calculate. And to be or not to be, that is the question. To marry this or that. But Hamlet has a bigger philosophical problem. Hamlet has a larger, philosophical problem. Because he has to take revenge upon his uncle, Claudius. Claudius is his father's younger brother. And he has killed his brother. So, killing a brother is not a normal thing, is not a routine thing. Okay, when you kill your brother, you are not just committing a crime, you are committing a sin. You are committing a sin. Shakespeare is worried about sin. Remember, Shakespeare as a playwright, as a poet, was worried about 3 things. Number 1, death. Number 2, old age. Number 3, sickness. And number 4 is betrayal. You get corrected because either you deceive somebody or you get deceived. Only 2 things happen in life. ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಘಟನೆಗಳು ನಡೀತಾ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಒಂದು ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅವರು ನನಗೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವನ ಮೂಲಭೂತವಾದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, the fundamental question that Shakespeare asks in several of his plays, like Julius Caesar, is why does man betray? Why does Gertrude betray her husband, Lady Hamlet? And why does Claudius kill Lady Hamlet? Why does Macbeth kill Duncan? So he asks several questions. And as I said to you, that Shakespeare is interested in these universal human predicament. He also thinks very seriously about power, corruption, power, desire, betrayal, love. What is love? He tries to answer this question in several of his plays. For instance, in Hamlet, Hamlet falls in love with Ophelia. I don't tell you the story, the plot of any particular play, because I have to wind up my presentation in 30 minutes, so I don't tell you stories. I will only I will explain certain context to you, to make you understand and to see the greatness of Shakespeare as a playwright and as a novelist. So I was talking about Hamlet. Hamlet is in love with Ophelia. And he wants to lead a very normal life, like any other young man that I should love. I'm in love with Ophelia, a 15 or 16-year-old girl, very beautiful, very attractive. And as a young man, he has so many attractions, and he wants to marry and settle down in his life because he is the Prince of Denmark. And the Prince of Denmark has to become a killer, a murderer. If he kills his uncle, he becomes a killer. And his moral question is, if I become a killer, how can I become a lover? And Shakespeare says the lover and the killer cannot go together. Now he is a premi, he is a lover, and he should become a killer. He has to murder. He has to murder his uncle. But he should murder his uncle. Because he has already met the ghost of his father. His father appeared as a ghost and told him, I did not die a natural death. I did not die of a snake bite. I was murdered. When I was sleeping in my garden, I was murdered. And then before Hamlet comes to know about this secret, he has asked several questions. How can a snake enter into the premise of a palace of a samrat? Is it possible? Do you think snake can enter into the house of Narendra Modi? No. The bodyguards will kill all soldiers. ಸೊಳ್ಳೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇರುವೆ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂತಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ನಾಗರ ಹೋಗಿ ರಾಜನನ್ನ ಕಸ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ನಂಬೋದು? How can I believe it? Remember, a great writer is one who asks several questions. Buddha asked questions. Basaveshwar asked many questions. You find a question in every single question. You don't become a great writer unless you ask questions. You don't become a thinker unless you ask questions. And Shakespeare, and Hamlet, every character of Shakespeare asks several questions. Now, Hamlet knows that he can't no longer love Ophelia. ಇನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಅವಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಲು ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. He ignores her. He doesn't meet her. He doesn't talk to her when she comes. He insults her. He tells her to go to nunnery. ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಆಗು, ಮಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗು, ನೀನೇ ಅಂತ ಹೆಣ್ಣು. You are not beautiful. I don't like your eyes. And he very much likes her eyes. I love you for your eyes. I love you for your exciting, beautiful eyes. Now he says, I don't like your eyes. And Ophelia commits suicide. ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಸತ್ತು ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. And this is a very famous scene in the play. Graveyard scene is one of the important scenes in the play, Hamlet. And Hamlet has gone to some place and he's on his way back. He is coming back to Denmark. Denmark is his native place. He is the prince of Denmark. And everything is not all right in Denmark. And in the beginning of the play, Verla says, something is rotten in the state of Denmark. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark is an often quoted dialogue from Hamlet. Something somewhere has gone wrong. The whole nation is smelling. ದುರ್ನಾತ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. ಇಡೀ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ದುರ್ನಾತ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. ಡೆನ್ಮಾರ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ದುರ್ನಾತ ತುಂಬಿದೆ. ಯಾಕೆ? ಹೇಗೆ? ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಂತು ಇದು? How? From where does it come? He asked this question. Right? So she commits suicide. And her body is carried to the graveyard for burial. And Hamlet comes and he does not know that Ophelia is dead and he is getting buried. And he looks at some place where the people are digging the grave and he goes there to find out who is dead. ಸತ್ತು ಹೋದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಯಾರು ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಯುವ ಕುತೂಹಲ. So when he goes there and to his shock, to his utter shock, he discovers that the person who is dead is none other than Ophelia herself. And there is her brother, Letus. And Letus catches hold of him and tells him, you are responsible for the death of my sister. Or I know. ತಂಗಿ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ತಂಗಿಯ ಶವ ಸಂಸ್ಕಾರ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಪ್ರೇಮಿ ಬಂದ. ಅವನು ಯುವರಾಜ ಪ್ರೇಮಿ. ಅವನು ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಇದನಿಗೆ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಸಿಟ್ಟು ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಆಗ ಅವನ ಎದೆಪಟ್ಟಿ ಹಿಡಿದು ಅವನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ತಂಗಿಯ ಸಾವಿಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಕಾರಣ. Then Hamlet speaks the most beautiful lines. I loved Ophelia I loved Ophelia, 40,000 brothers with all their quantity of love cannot make up the sum. These are the lines that Hamlet speaks. You are a stupid brother. You think that only brothers can love their sisters. Do you know how much I love your sister? So Shakespeare is trying to quantify love. Love is getting quantified. I loved Ophelia, 40,000 brothers with all their quantity of love cannot make up the sum. Hey, Murkha, Murkhava. ನೀನೆಷ್ಟು ನಿನ್ನ ತಂಗಿಯನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಿದೆಯೋ ನಿನ್ನಂತ 40,000 ಸಹೋದರರ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಒಂದು ತಕ್ಕಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ತಕ್ಕಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಕ್ಕಡಿಯ ಭಾರ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗ್ತದೆ. ನನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. 40,000 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 40,000 ಅಂತ significance. So he says this. But the fundamental question is, yes, that's true. I'm asking this question to Hamlet. Yes, Hamlet, you are right. You love Ophelia very intensely, very passionately, very madly, very insanely. I was responsible for her death. ಓದುಗನಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಹ್ಯಾಮ್ಲೆಟ್ನಿಗೆ ಈ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. ಏನೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಅವಳ ಸಾವಿಗೆ ನೀನೇ ಕಾರಣ. You are responsible. And the play, this is play. This is a very complex play, Hamlet, and this is also a very philosophical play because they all speak philosophies in the play from beginning to the end. So Shakespeare makes us understand that something is rotten in the state of Denmark. I will discuss only two plays, and it is already 151. Okay. So now something is rotten in the state of Denmark. This is how the play begins. Denmark ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಕೊಡುತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿದೆ, right? Now the question is, who should repair it? Who should correct it? Okay? Who should correct it? Who should make it, beautiful? Whose duty is this? Hamlet says, the time is out of joint. I'm quoting. The time is out of joint. The time is out of joint. Oh, first wife, that was I ever born to set it right? Very fundamental question Hamlet is asking. He is asking himself. Yes, I know there is some problem with this state. There is some problem with this country. Something is rotten with the state of Denmark. The time is out of joint. ಏರೋಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಕೆಳಗಿಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬೆಳಿಂದ ಕೆಳಗಾಗಿದೆ. ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ ಮುಗಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಬು ಕೆಳಗಿನ ಕಾರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಮೈನ್ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿಲ್ಲ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಹಾಗೆ ಕಾಲವೇ ತಿರುವು ಮುರುವಾಗಿದೆ. ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ಕಾರ್ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಟೈಮ್ ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಈಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಓ ಕರ್ಸ್ಲೆಸ್ ವೈಟ್, ಕರ್ಸ್ ವಿಧಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ destiny. Oh, Vidye, the time is out of joint. Oh, curse this point, that was I ever born to set it right? Is it my duty to correct it? Why should I alone? Why should I alone correct it? Why shouldn't anybody do it? Why only I do it? I am the Prince of Denmark. I have to become the King of Denmark. And finally he decides to kill his uncle. But this makes forces us to ask several questions. Number one, why is Hamlet so unhappy with his mother? He tells his mother, you should love my father. If you should love my father, and in the absence of my father, you should only love me, not my uncle. Psychological sense, he can understand it better. Many critics have tried to read this play from Freudian perspective and so on. And Hamlet he doesn't directly ask this question to his mother, but he means this. You did not love me, you loved my uncle. ಮಗನಿಗೆ ತಾಯಿಯ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಮಗನಿಗೆ ತಂದೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಭಿಮಾನವಿದೆ. ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಮಗನು ತನ್ನ ತಂದೆಯ ಕೊಲೆಗಾರನನ್ನ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆಯಾ? Can any son in any country across the globe forgive the murderer, killer of his father? No, not at all. Hamlet is a father's son. ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಮಗ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅವ್ವನ ಮಗ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಹ್ಯಾಮ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಮಗ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಮಗ. ನನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಪನನ್ನ ಕೊಂದವನು ನನ್ನ ಅಂಕಲ್, ನನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ, ಅವನನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು. I should pay. But he doesn't quickly react. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, and he postpones. And that, for that he will have to pay a heavy price at the end of the day. ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ಹೇಳುತ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯಕ್ಕೆ ಸರಿಯಾದ ನಿರ್ಧಾರವನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಸಲ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬದಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. What is done cannot be undone. This is his philosophy. What is done cannot be undone. ಮಾತು ಆಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯಿತು, ಮುತ್ತು ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯಿತು, ಅದು ಅದರ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. What is done cannot be undone ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತು ಆಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯಿತು, ಮುತ್ತು ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಹೋಯಿತು. There is no undoing in life. ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವತ್ತು ಮದುವೆಯಾಗಿ ತಾಳಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದು ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ that's an end of it. That's the end of it. ಯಾರಿಗೋ PUC SSLC ಪಾಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾವ. ಆರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಲೈಫ್ ಗಿವ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. And you have to take an option. You have to choose an option. Once you choose an option, that's an end of it, because your fate is sealed. You will have to live with this. And if you want to change this, if you want to alter it, you will have to give a price. In Hamlet is destined to kill his uncle. ಅವನ ವಿಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪನನ್ನು ಕೊಲ್ಲಬೇಕು, ಅವನ ಸಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಲ್ಲಬೇಕು. He asks several questions. What should I trust the ghost or not? And in Act 3, he gets a chance to kill his uncle because he is offering prayer. He is single, he is alone, he is in his room. There are no bodyguards at all, and he can kill him in a minute. But he gives a long speech. I should not kill my uncle because he is offering a prayer to God. Why? If I kill him when he is offering prayer to God, he will go to heaven. I want him to go to hell. ನನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ತನ್ನ ಅಪರಾಧಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ತನ್ನ ಪಾಪಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ತನ್ನ ಹೀನ ಕೃತ್ಯಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನರಕಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು. ಅವನು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥನೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುವಾಗ ನಾನು ಅವನನ್ನ ಕೊಂದರೆ ಅವನು ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರ್ದು. If I send him to heaven, it's not that I have taken revenge upon him, he has taken revenge upon me. ನಾನು ಅವನನ್ನು ಸ್ವರ್ಗಕ್ಕೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದರೆ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ವಿರುದ್ಧವೇ ಪ್ರತೀಕಾರ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಹಾಗೆ. Let me not kill him. Yes. Then ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Hamlet says, ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, don't think that what you know is ultimate. Many of us always think that what I know is ultimate. I know everything. I did not learn anything from Rashekar or Sripad or somebody. This is how we think and we behave. But Shakespeare says that's not correct. Hamlet says there are more things in heaven and earth. There are more things in heaven and earth, dear Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Horatio is his friend. He talked about Horatio. Horatio is Hamlet's friend. He's a philosopher. And he thinks he knows everything. And he says, what you know is very little. There are more things in heaven and earth. Heaven here means the sky. Your understanding of life is limited. Your understanding of the world is limited. What you know is very little. There are more things which you do not know. So, Hamlet's problem is universal. It's a philosophical problem. Ask many questions. And we ask his mother, why should you marry my uncle so quickly? ಎರಡು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ನೀನು ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆಯನ್ನ ಬಹಳ ಬಹಳ ಗಾಢವಾಗಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆಯ ಸಾವಿಗೆ 15 ದಿನ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಸುರಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಿಂದಿದ್ದ ಆಗಿಲ್ವೇ? You said you loved my father intensely, madly, passionately. If that is true, my dear, if that is true, madam mandala, ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರ madam mandala ನನಗೆ ಅವ್ವ ಅನ್ನೋಂತಾರೆ. ಈ ಅವ್ವ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಅವ್ವ ನೋಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಮೇಳಿಗೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದುಷ್ಟ ಮೇಳಿಗೆ, ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಶಬ್ದವನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ತಾನ ತಾಯಿ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಗ ತನ್ನ ತಾಯಿಗೆ ಎಂತ ನೀಚ ತಾಯಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಶಬ್ದಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಬಾರ್ದು. But ಆಕೆ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಬೇರೆ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. Her problem is different. What is her problem? Because she has been the queen of Denmark till ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅವಳು ಮಹಾರಾಣಿ. ಗಂಡ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋದ. ಗಂಡನ ತಮ್ಮನನ್ನ ಮದುವೆ ಆಗದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವಳು ಮಹಾರಾಣಿಯ ಪಟ್ಟ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. She will lose all comforts. ಎಲ್ಲಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಳೆ, I am your mother. This is very fundamental. I want all the students to understand it. ನಾನು ಕೇವಲ ನಿನ್ನ ತಾಯಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಹಿಳೆ. I am not just your mother. I am a woman. I have my own personal life, my own vision. Okay, I want somebody to love. ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರೀತಿಸಲು ಒಬ್ಬ ಬೇಕು, ಸಂಸಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಬೇಕು. ನಾನೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. You are in love with Ophelia, you marry her. ನೀನು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಳೆ ನನಗೆ, ಈ ಸಂಸಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಾನು ಸಂಸಾರ ಹೊರಟುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Your father died. Where should I go? Very fundamental questions. Practical is never explained practical. So at the end of the day, everybody is dead. Ophelia is dead in the second act. Leatus is killed, and Dept dies, and Claudius dies. Leatus dies, Polonius dies, and the last person to die in the play is Hamlet, Prince Hamlet. He also dies. Let me talk about two more plays in very shortly. This is Richard III. We should read Richard III. ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನೀವು ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಚರ್ಡ್ III ನಾಟಕವನ್ನು ಓದಬೇಕು. ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಟೈಟಾನಿಕ್ ವಿಲನ್. ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಯಾವ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇಂಥ ವಿಲನ್ ಸಿಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. There is a line in Hamlet. ಅಂಕಲ್ ಬಗೆಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಮ್ಲೆಟ್ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ, he smiles and be a villain. ಸಾವಿರಾರು ನಂಬ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಕಳನಾಗಿರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. ಊರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಳನಾಯಕರಾಗಿರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಕಳನಾಯಕ ನಗ್ತಾನೆ ಮೋಸ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. He smiles and be a villain. I have never seen a more knave villain than my uncle. ನನ್ನ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪನ ನೀಚ ದುಷ್ಟ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲೂ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ರಿಚರ್ಡ್ III talks about power. ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. Read the history of any nation, you find hundreds of examples. Even today, for power, for the sake of power, you do something. First of all, you want to acquire power, for which you kill and murder. Then, to retain your power, you go on murdering. That's what Macbeth does in the play Macbeth. Macbeth wants to become the king, and there are only two options. Either you should be born to a king to become a king, or you should murder a king. Anybody can become prime minister, but anybody cannot become a king. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರಾಜರಾಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಧಾನಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾಗಬಹುದು. ಚಾ ಮಾರೋರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾರೋರು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇದೆ. Get elected, ಸಾಧ್ಯ. So Macbeth wanted to become a king. Then he was not a royal born. ಅವನು ಅರಸೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ನಿಂತಿರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. So he murders Duncan. And when he murders Duncan, he says, I have not killed Duncan alone, I have killed my sleep too. Macbeth can no longer sleep. This is Shakespeare. ಜೀವನದ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದ ಸತ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. If you want power, you should be ready to sacrifice your sleep. ನಾನು ಕೇವಲ ಡಂಕನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಲ್ಲಲಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ನಿದ್ರೆಯನ್ನೇ ಬಂದೆ. And both Hamlet and Lady Macbeth cannot sleep. They have become kings of, he has become the king of Scotland. Scotland is the Raja. He has everything, but he cannot sleep. King Henry V asks a question. Even a beggar can speak, why not a king? ಎಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಭಿಕ್ಷುಕ ಬಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲ, ರೈಲ್ವೆ ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲ, ಗಟಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿದ್ದು ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಬಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ರಾಜ, ನಮನೆ ಇದೆ, ಮೆತ್ತನೆಯ ಹಾಸಿಗೆ ಇದೆ, I have everything, but I cannot sleep. And he asks the question to God, why do you deny sleep to a king? ದೇವರೇ, ನನ್ನ ನಿದ್ರೆಯನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಕಸಿದುಕೊಂಡೆ? ಸೊ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗುವಂತ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು. ತಿಳಿದುಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದ ಹಿಡಿದು ವಯೋವೃದ್ಧರವರೆಗೂ ಈ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ನಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿದ್ರೆಯ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. If you can sleep and sleep comfortably, you think you are the richest man in the world. When you read Shakespeare, you understand, yes, I should not do something for which I should lose my very, very beautiful sleep. ನಿದ್ರೆಯ ಸುಖವೇ ಯಾವುದು? ನಿದ್ರೆಯ ಸುಖ ಗೆಳತಿಯ ಸುಖಕ್ಕಿಂತ 100 ಪಟ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಲಭ್ಯ ಇರುವ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸುಖಕ್ಕಿಂತ ನಿದ್ರೆಯ ಸುಖ ಹೆಚ್ಚು. ನಿದ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ambition ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ದೇವೆ. We are chasing our dreams. We are very ambitious. I want to become rich. I want to become powerful. I want to acquire power. I am unhappy when my friend gets power and I don't get. You lose your sleep. So Shakespeare talks about power. Richard III is talking about Richard III. Please listen to me. In the beginning of the play, the first dialogue, Richard III says, I cannot appreciate art or culture, literature. I cannot dance like you because I am lame in one leg. ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲು ಸರಿಯಿಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮಂತೆ ನಾನು ನೃತ್ಯ ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ. ನನ್ನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಸರಿಯಿಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹಾಡಲಾರೆ, ನಾನು ನಟನೆ ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ. ನಾನು ನಡೆದು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾಯಿಗಳು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಹೊಗಳುತ್ತವೆ. ನಾನು ನಡೆದು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಾಯಿಗಳು ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಹೊಗಳುತ್ತವೆ. What should I do? I prove that I am the greatest winner. ಯಾವುದು ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ವಿಲನಿ ಮಾತಾಡುವುದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಏನನ್ನು ಆಗಲು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಜಗತ್ತು ಕಂಡ ಭಯಾನಕವಾದ ವಿಲನ್ ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Then what should I do? I should become the king. And there is already a king. Let me kill him. He kills his father. He kills his elder brother. He kills 2 sons of his elder brother. Then he seduces his brother's wife. He marries her. He kills her. And from the beginning till the end of the play, he kills so many people for the sake of power. What happens at the end? Shakespeare gives us answer at the end of the play. ನಾಟಕದ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? So all his enemies attack him. The final battle, the biggest battle that Henry III is fighting in his life. of his life. If the serious battle is going on, he loses his horse. His horse is shot dead. I mean, not shot dead because they didn't have revolvers then. So it gets killed. ಭೀಕರವಾದ ಯುದ್ಧ ನಡೆದಾಗ ಅವನ ಕುದುರೆ ಸತ್ವ ಬಿಡುತ್ತಾರೆ. Horse was everything for him. So, if you go against nature and if you keep on murdering and you are very, very abnormal, unnatural, and if you do not have ethics, then one day the whole nature, the whole universe will take revenge upon you. So, and he was fighting a war and enemies attacked him from all the corners. He wanted to escape. Richard III wants to escape from the battlefield, and how can he escape without a horse? ಅವಾಗ ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ವಿಮಾನ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇನು ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕುದುರೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪಾರಾಗ್ಬೋದು. He does not have a horse. And the horse that he loved, the horse that he depended upon, has already been killed. ತನ್ನ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ, ತನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ ತಾನು ನಂಬಿರುವ ಆ ಕುದುರೆ ಸತ್ತು ಹೋಗಿದೆ. He knows that his end has come and he will be killed any time. Then he speaks just one sentence. Richard III ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ವಾಕ್ಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಪುಟಗಳ ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅವನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಷ್ಟೇ, horse, a horse, my empire for a horse. That's it. He speaks this, enemies come, attack, kill him, and he's killed. ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆ ಕುಡಿ, ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆ, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆ, ಆ ಕುದುರೆಗಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯವನ್ನೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟೇನು. ಅಪ್ಪನನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು, ಅಣ್ಣನನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು, ಸಂಬಂಧಿರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು, ಅಣ್ಣಂದಿರ ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು, ಅಣ್ಣಂದಿರ ಹೆಂಡಂದಿರನ್ನ ಮಾನಭಂಗ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು ಪಡೆದುಕೊಂಡಂತ ಅಧಿಕಾರವನ್ನ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಂದು ಕುದುರೆಗಾಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ವಿಧಿ ಅವಕಾಶ ಕೊಡೋದ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ ಪಾಪ ತುಂಬಿದಾಗ, ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಹಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದು. You die like a mad dog. And we have seen many emperors dying like mad dogs. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಬರೋದು. So, this is our first class. Okay, I should end it. This is an endless thing. I'll meet you again and talk about Shakespeare for 2 to 3 hours if you are ready next time. I feel like going on and on, but I have to stop this and let me conclude this short presentation on Shakespeare by saying that Shakespeare, as his fellow playwright, what is his name? Ben Jonson said, he is not for one age, for all the ages. So Shakespeare is an author. Shakespeare is an artist. Shakespeare is the playwright who does not belong to one nation, but he belongs to all nations. And Shakespeare is the author. Shakespeare is the playwright who does not belong to one age, but to all ages. So I say that Shakespeare is also an Indian playwright. And if you want to develop your sensitivity to language, ಭಾಷೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಭಾಷೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಓದಬೇಕು, ರೆಟೋರಿಕ್ ಓದಬೇಕು. ರೆಟೋರಿಕ್, ಫಾರ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಜೂಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೀಸರ್ ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೂಟಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಲವ್ ದ ಸೀಸರ್ ಲೆಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಐ ಲವ್ ರೋಮ್ ಮೋರ್. ಈ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ he is able to change the mindset of the all the Romans after murdering Julius Caesar. Then comes Mark Antony and says, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I came here not to praise Caesar, but to bury him. And then he makes his speech. So you should read plays like Julius Caesar, Macbeth, and Hamlet, Internet Cleopatra, Romeo Juliet, any play for that matter. And also read his summits and his long poems, develop your sensitivity so that you become very responsible teachers and you will be able to use language very effectively in classrooms and make impression on your students. With these remarks of mine, wishing you all the best and thanking Professor G. Raymond and also principal of this college and all my dear colleagues who have listened to me with patience. I call it a day. Thank you so much.
Now I would like to Dr. M. Reddy sir to present the books to Donor sir and Dr. M. S. Reddy.
Thank you so much for an outstanding speech of Dr. Loomis. Now, I would like to call upon Shri S.R. Mugulpur sir for his presidential remarks.
ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ಅನೌನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಗಂಟೆ. ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾತಾಡುವಂಥ ಪ್ರಸಂಗ ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಾವು ವೇದಿಕೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುವಂತಹ ಮತ್ತು ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ನಾಟಕದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ರಂಗಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದಂಥ ಅದೇ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ನಾಟಕದ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮೊದಲಿನ ಟ್ರಾಜಿಡೀಸ್ ದುರಂತ ನಾಟಕಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡಬೇಕು ಹಾಗೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಸ್ನಾತಕೋತ್ತರ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾದಂಥ ಚಿಂಗುಡಿಯವರೇ ಅವರು ಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉಪಸ್ಥಿತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟಕ ಬಹಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಗಭೂಮಿಯ ಬೆಳಕು ಬೇರೆ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಕ್ಷಗಾನ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಯಲಾಟದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಪಾರಿಜಾತದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ನಡೀತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಹುಣ್ಣಿಮೆಯ ರಾತ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸವಾಲ್ ಜಾವದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಇದ್ದು ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅದೇ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಆದರೆ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥಿತವಾದಂತಹ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲೇ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ. ಒಮ್ಮೆ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತಕ್ಷಣ ತಿರುಗಿ ನೋಡುವಂತಹದ್ದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಯಾವಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಣಾಢ್ಯ ಕೂಡ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ವರ್ಣಾಢ್ಯ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಅಸಂಗತ ನಾಟಕಗಳು ಅಂತ ಬಹಳ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್. ಅಸಂಗತ ನಾಟಕ ನೀವು ಕೈಲಾಸ ಡೊಳ್ಳುಗಟ್ಟಿ ಇತ್ಯಾದಿ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಟ್ನಶೆಟ್ಟಿಯವರ ಒಂದು ಮಹಾಭಾರತ ನಾಟಕ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಪೀಟರ್ ಬ್ರೂಕ್ನ ಮಹಾಭಾರತ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದೆ. ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಯೋಗ. ಕಲಾಯುಧಕಾಲ ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥ ನಾಟಕದ ಪ್ರಯೋಗನೇ ಆದರೆ ಕಾವ್ಯ ರೂಪದೊಳಗಿದೆ. ಅದೇ ಒಂದು ವಿಷಯ, ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ನಾಟಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಪರಿಣಾಮಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ತಂತ್ರ ಯಾವುದಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಪ್ರವಾಹ ಸ್ವಗತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಸ್ವಗತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬರ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಂಗು ಬಳಸ್ತಾನೆ, ಕೋಪವನ್ನು ಬಳಸ್ತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಳಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಆಲ್ ಎಮೋಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಸ್. ಈ ಪ್ರಜ್ಞಾ ಪ್ರವಾಹ ತಂತ್ರವನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿನೇ ಕಲಾಯುಧ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಭೀಮ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ದ್ರೌಪದಿಯ ಮುಡಿಯನ್ನು ಎಳೆದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತ ಬಡಿತಾವ. ಈ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೀಸರ್ ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಲೂಕಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಂಟನಿ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಸಮುದಾಯ ಒಂದು ಮಾವನ್ನ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಮೂಡನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸಿದಂತ ಎರಡು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಭಾಷಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲೂಕಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಆಂಟನಿ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಧಿಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂತಹ ಮಹಾರಾಜ ಜೂಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೀಸರ್ ಬ್ರೂಟಸ್ ಅಸಾಸಿನೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನ ಅಭಿಮಾನಿಗಳ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತ ಮೊದಲನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾತಿನಿಂದ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆಗೊಂಡಂತ ಇಡೀ ಮಾವನ್ನ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಪಿರೇಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಹೆಸರಿನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಜನಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಚಾಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಸರಿ. ಇಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿ ಜೂಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೀಸರ್ ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವ ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಶೆಲ್ಡನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡಿ ದುಂಡಗದ ಅಪದಾನ such people are not dangerous, that cautious, clean and hungry eyes will hurt the house. ಅಂತ ಜನ ಬಹಳ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಚಿತಾವಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮಾತಾಡೋರು ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಡೇಂಜರ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗ ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್ ಹೋದಾಗ ಜೂಲಿಯಸ್ ಸೀಸರ್ನ ಸಾರಿ ಶೇಕ್ಸ್ಪಿಯರ್ನ ಮನೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ಕಂತ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು ವೆರಿ ಯುಕ್ತವಾದಂತಹ ಡೀಪ್ ಪೆನ್ನನ್ನು ಅವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎದ್ದಿ ಸರಿಯಿಂದ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಬರೆಯುವಂತ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್. ಈ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ನಾಟಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ಪೌರಾಣಿಕ ಕಾವ್ಯ ಪರಂಪರೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಬಹಳ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸಿಗ್ಮಂಡ್ ಫ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ ನಾಟಕ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ನಾಟಕಗಳಿಂದ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಎತ್ತಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಡಿಪಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಇದಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ಗಳು ಬದಾವೆ. ಎಂ ಬಸವಣ್ಣ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಸ್ ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಯಾವುದು ಲೇಡಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಬೆತ್ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಬರೀ ಡಂಕನ್ನ ಕೊಲೆ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಆಲ್ ಪರ್ಫ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅರೇಬಿಯಾ ಡೀಡ್ ವಾಶ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟೈನಿಂಗ್. ಈ ಡೈಲಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಸ್ಲೀಪ್ ವಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲಿಟಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಓದ್ತೀವಿ ಬೈ ಹ್ಯಾಬಿಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹವ್ಯಾಸದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಎಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲಿಟಿ ಏನೋ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪಾತ್ರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ನಾರ್ಮಲಿಟಿ ತುಂಬಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿಶೇಷ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿದ್ರಾ ಸಂಚಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಪಾತ್ರ ದ್ವಂದ್ವಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೋಳಾದ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅನೇಕ ಸಂಗತಿಗಳನ್ನ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಇಡಿಪಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ನಡದ ಕಾವ್ಯಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಕುಮಾರ ರಾಮನ ದುಂದುಮೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಕುಮಾರ ರಾಮನ ದುಂದುಮೆ, ಕುಮಾರ ರಾಮನ ದುಂದುಮೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಘಟನೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ವತಃ ಸಾಂಗತ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಿಪಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಶೋಕನ ಕಥೆ, ಬರೇ ಅಶೋಕ ಮೌರ್ಯ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಬರೇ ಅಶೋಕನ ಕಿರಿಯ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅಶೋಕನ ಮಗ ಕುನಾಲ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಘದ ಕ್ರಿಯೆ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಡಿಪಸ್ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಭಾರತೀಯ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯವನ್ನ ಕೂಡ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮನೋವೈಜ್ಞಾನಿಕ ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂತಹ ವಿಚಾರಗಳು ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತವೆ. ಬರೇ ಅಶೋಕ ಕಳಿಂಗ ಯುದ್ಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸೈನಿಕರು ತುಳಿಯುತ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೆಣಗಳು ಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿಗಳು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾರು ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಈಟ್ ಒನ್ ಬಾಡಿ, ಒಂದು ಶರೀರವನ್ನು ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ ನಾನೇ ಅವಾಗ ದೊರೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನೀನು ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ತಿನ್ಬೋದು, ನಾನೇ ಕೊಡಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನೀನು ತಿನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡಿಸಿದೆ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀನು ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಣಗಳನ್ನ ನೀನು ತಿನ್ನುವುದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದಂಥ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್, ಜಗತ್ತನ್ನೇ ಗೆದ್ದಂತ ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ರಮಣ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಪೌರಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಸೋಲಿಸಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ, ಹಿಡಿದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಬರೀ ಕತ್ತಲಿದ್ದಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮೈಕ್ ಅವಾಗ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾನು ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ, ನಿನಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳು, ಜಗತ್ತನ್ನೇ ಗೆದ್ದಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಸಂಶಯ ಈ ಕಡೆ ನಿಲ್ಬಾರ್ದು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅಹಂಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಿದಂತ ಘಟನೆಗಳು ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಇದ್ದಾವೆ. ಅವರ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ಥಿಯೇಟರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ರಂಗಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ರಯೋಗಗಳೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಈಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನ ರಕ್ತ ಸಿಕ್ತ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನಗಳೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಶ್ಚಾತ್ಯ ಜಗತ್ತಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ರಕ್ತ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದಂತೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದಾಹನೆ ಕೊಲೆ ನಡೀತದಂತೆ. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲೂ ಔರಂಗಜೇಬ ತನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಇವರನ್ನ ಕೊಂದು ಅವನ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಥ ರಕ್ತ ಸಿಕ್ತ ಬಂಧುಗಳ ರಕ್ತ, ಅದು ವಿಶೇಷ. ಅವ್ರ ಬೇರೆ ದೂರದ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಗಳ ರಕ್ತನೇ ಅದಕ್ಕಿರ್ತದೆ. ಹೀಗಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮಾತು ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಕ್ರೌನ್ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಫೈಡ್ ಹೆಡ್. ಕಿರೀಟ ಚಿಂತೆ ತುಂಬಿರೋ ತಲೆಯನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರೋ ರಾಜರು ವಿರೋಧಿನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಚಿಂತೆ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ, ಯಾವ ಇದೇ ಕಾರಣ. ಅಲೆಕ್ಸಾಂಡರ್ ಘಟನೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಂದುವರೆದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ವಿಧಿಯೇ ಅವನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಕ್ರಮ ಕೈಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾಟಕಕಾರ ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳುವ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನಾಟಕಕಾರರು ಪಾತ್ರಗಳ ಮೂಲಕವಾಗಿ ಪಾತ್ರಗಳ ಬಾಯಿಂದ ಹೇಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಮೌಲ್ಯಗಳನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕ್ರಿ, ಶುಡ್ ಫಾಲೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. ಹಿಂಗೆ ವಿಚಾರನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. ಕುದುರೆ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ಭಾರತೀಯರಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾರತ ರಾಜರೀತಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಮುಖವಾದ ಪಾತ್ರವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಉದಾಹರಣೆ ಚೇತಕ್ ಕುದುರೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಪಟ್ಟದಾನೆಗಳನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಬಾಬರ್ನ ಪಟ್ಟದಾನೆ ಬಹಳ ಫೇಮಸ್. ಮೈಸೂರು ರಾಜರ ಪಟ್ಟದಾನೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಮಹತ್ವ. ಮೈಸೂರು ಮಹಾರಾಜ ಬೇಟೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಅವನು ಗುರಿ ತಪ್ಪಬಾರದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಇಂಥ ಅನೇಕ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು ಭಾರತೀಯ ಘಟನೆಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಅದಾವೆ. ಅಶ್ವತ್ಥಾಮ, ದ್ರೋಣನ, ಇಂಥವುಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ನಾಟಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ತೇವೆ. ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದಾಗ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಅದು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ನೀಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಾಟಕಗಳನ್ನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಕೋಣೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರು ನನ್ನ ಜಗಳ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾರು ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ನೀಡುವ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಕೆನೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ನಾತಕೋತ್ತರ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಸಂಕಿರಣ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಇದು ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿದೆ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಮಗೂ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ಕೆರಳಿಸಿದೆ. ಹೊಸ ಓದಿನ ಮೊದಲುಗಳನ್ನ ಇದು ತೆರೆದುಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮತ್ತು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಓದನ್ನ ಈ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋ ನಾಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ರಂಗೋಪಯೋಗಗಳ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಸ್ತರಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥ ಈ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮತ್ತು ಧಾರವಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೆ ಸಾಹಿತ್ಯ ಆಸಕ್ತರ ಬಳಗ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಅನ್ನುವಂಥ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ ನನ್ನದು. ಈ ಮಾತಿನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿ ಪಾಂಡಿತ್ಯಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂತಹ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಕುರಿತಾಗಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಾಹಿತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ನಮಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
May I request Shri Samchimuri to propose vote of thanks.